Here's why a woman pushes you away when she wants you most. Modern Stoic. Have you ever noticed a woman start to pull away right when things seem to be getting serious? Maybe she ignores your texts, becomes distant, or even seems cold. You might be left wondering, why would she push me away when she clearly wants me? Here's the surprising truth when a woman starts to pull back. It doesn't always mean she's losing interest. In many cases, it's actually the opposite. She might be feeling more deeply for you than she anticipated, and instead of drawing closer, she instinctively retreats. This behavior is often rooted in fear of how deeply she feels and how vulnerable that makes her. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's one of the most misunderstood dynamics in relationships today, and it can undermine a powerful connection if not understood properly. Often, when a woman begins to withdraw, men assume the worst. She doesn't call, she must not care, she pulls back emotionally. She's probably seeing someone else. But here's the twist. Her distance could be a sign of emotional overwhelm, not disinterest. Many women, especially those who have been hurt in the past or who struggle with vulnerability, have learned to guard themselves. When things start to get real, they might test the waters by pushing you away. The paradox is this: they want you close, but their fear tells them to keep you at arm's length. This is where many men go wrong. Instead of understanding this emotional complexity, they often react by chasing, pleading, or demanding answers. But these reactions only intensify her fears. She begins to feel that closeness equals pressure, and love equals losing control. The key to navigating this situation is understanding it for what it truly is: a woman pushing you away because she's scared of how much she wants you. If you respond with patience, understanding, and emotional strength, you can create the space for her to open up without pushing her further away. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. By learning to handle this emotional push and pull with grace, you'll transform the situation from a point of confusion into an opportunity for deeper connection. By understanding this behavior, you'll be better equipped to respond with calm and composure, like a man who truly knows what he's doing. 1. She fears losing control. When a woman begins to develop real feelings for you, feelings she can't completely understand or manage, something strange and unexpected happens: fear. But it's not fear of you, it's fear of losing control over herself. You must understand, as she begins to care more than she anticipated, her instinctive response might be to back away. It's crucial to know that many women have been conditioned to protect themselves emotionally. They've been taught, often by painful experiences or societal pressures, that getting too close, giving too much, means weakness. So, when she starts thinking about you more, wondering what you're thinking, questioning whether you'll stay, the panic sets in. It's not about you doing anything wrong. In fact, it often happens because you're doing everything right. You're being consistent, you're showing up, you're making her feel safe, secure, and valued. But all that stability, that calm, triggers an old fear she's been running from: the fear of attachment. When she starts caring more than she expected, it feels like she's losing control over her own emotions. To her, control is safety, and when she feels herself getting attached, it feels like she's giving you the power to hurt her. So, she distances herself, not because she doesn't care, but because she's trying to protect herself from caring even more. Now, you're texting. Conversations flow. Replies are quick. There's a spark, a connection. Then, suddenly, she pulls away. The replies slow down. She takes longer to respond, sometimes even days. You wonder what happened. You didn't change. You didn't do anything wrong. But now, it seems like she's suddenly indifferent. It's confusing, isn't it? But here's the thing, it's not about you. She's not rejecting you. She's regaining control over her emotions by pulling back. The connection is becoming deeper than she expected, and it scares her. By creating distance, she reasserts control over herself. It's a defense mechanism. And here's where most men go wrong. They chase. They start questioning her, showing their frustration, trying to fix things. This behavior only reinforces her fear. It proves to her that her instincts were right. This closeness is dangerous. But a man who truly understands this dynamic does not chase. He doesn't flinch. He remains calm. He stays grounded, unaffected by her sudden withdrawal. That's what makes her feel safe. When she sees you haven't budged, when she sees you're not trying to control her, that's when she begins to come back. Not because you chased after her, but because you didn't. This is where the wisdom of the modern Stoic comes into play. A modern Stoic knows that true power lies in self, control and emotional steadiness. You must be grounded, unmoved by the natural ebb and flow of emotions. When you act with the blessing of Stoicism, you do not bend under the pressure of uncertainty or emotional withdrawal. You stand firm, calm in the face of her fears, and let her come to you when she's ready. The old Stoic would say that mastering yourself is the path to true strength. And this is no different. By holding your ground, by remaining stable and calm, you embody the core teachings of Stoicism. You control your reactions, not the emotions of others. Remember, don't chase, don't give in to the temptation to question or panic. Instead, focus on maintaining your composure. Show her that you can handle the distance, that you're not threatened by her pulling away. In the end, that emotional stability, that calm under pressure, is what will draw her back to you. It's not about controlling her. It's about controlling yourself. And when you do that, you create a safe space where she feels comfortable enough to reconnect. 2. Too much emotion scares me. In relationships, men often misinterpret a woman's emotional withdrawal when she is, in fact, feeling the strongest emotions for you. This may seem contradictory, but it's a critical aspect of understanding how emotions work, particularly in the context of a woman's internal struggles. Too much emotion, especially the intensity of real emotional investment, is often more frightening than it is comforting. As a man, you may think that once a woman expresses deep feelings, such as love, desire, or attachment, everything will naturally follow. But you're wrong. The stronger her feelings, the more she may fear losing control, and this fear can drive her to push you away. This isn't because she doesn't care. On the contrary, it's because she cares deeply, and vulnerability is terrifying. The greater the love, the greater the tragedy when it's gone. As Marcus Aurelius once said, reminding us that vulnerability in love is both a risk and a strength. This inner conflict is what causes her to retreat emotionally, not because she doesn't feel the connection, but because she's afraid of the depth of it. In modern relationships, this is often misunderstood. Society tells us that women are emotionally open and that their feelings are all out in the open. While this can be true, it often oversimplifies the complexity of female emotional stability. In truth, many women have less emotional stability than we perceive, especially when things get intense. The surface, level flirtations or casual exchanges might keep her comfortable, but the moment things get real, she can feel overwhelmed. When she begins to feel something deep, she risks losing control over her emotions, and this loss of control can be alarming. The vulnerability she feels exposes her to emotional risk, and for some women, this risk is unacceptable, particularly if they've experienced pain, betrayal, or heartache before. To protect herself, she may push you away, even though her heart is still deeply engaged. The real danger lies in how you respond. If you react with anxiety, frustration, or insecurity, you only escalate the emotional turmoil. Instead of providing reassurance, you're adding to the chaos. Remember, the most powerful thing you can do when she pulls away is to stay calm and steady. As the Stoic principles teach us, especially those of Marcus Aurelius, you must master your emotions if you are to lead with confidence. When she is in turmoil, you cannot afford to mirror that instability. Your steadiness will help her regain trust in herself and in you. She doesn't need you to panic. She needs you to lead her through the storm with calm and clarity. As Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you choose to react with rational thought and patience, you will guide her through the emotional maze. This is your chance to show leadership. Your ability to remain composed when she is emotionally overwhelmed is what creates the space for her to trust her emotions without fear. The more emotion she feels, the more calmly you must respond. This calm isn't detachment or coldness. It's an active form of leadership, a demonstration of strength that lets her know you are secure, unwavering, and in control of yourself. By providing her with the safety to express her emotions freely, without pressure or manipulation, you offer the stability that enables her to lean into the relationship rather than pull away. Now, here's the key takeaway. You must master the art of maintaining calmness in the face of emotional intensity. Don't confuse her emotional distance with a lack of care. It's an inner conflict, not a reflection of your worth or her feelings toward you. By adhering to the principles of Stoicism, maintaining calm, control, and rational thought, you not only give her space to feel safely, but you also create the foundation for a deeper, more authentic connection. When you understand this dynamic, you won't feel threatened by her emotional pullback. Instead, you'll be the steady presence that guides her back to you, stronger than before. Let the Stoic principles be your guide. Control what you can, let go of what you can't, and trust that emotional stability is the key to mastering love and relationships. If you've ever seen a woman pull away when she wants you the most, this is why. When emotions run deep, she might retreat, not because she doesn't care, but because she's afraid of being vulnerable. And that's when your calm leadership is most crucial. If you're ready to understand this deeper and act with strength, drop a comment below. I stay calm when emotions rise. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom. And remember, emotional control is the key to real connection. 3. She's testing your strength. There comes a pivotal moment in nearly every relationship where a woman shifts her behavior. Everything seems perfect. There's chemistry, attraction, and connection, but then she becomes cold, distant, or unpredictable. Many men panic, thinking something has gone wrong. They fail to see that this shift is often a test, not random, but instinctual. A woman doesn't just want attraction. She craves safety within that attraction. And the only way she can truly feel safe is if she sees that you can handle her at her most emotional, unpredictable, and uncertain. It's in these moments that she watches you closely. This is when you are being tested, when she pulls away, when she goes silent, when the energy changes. This is when your strength is revealed. Don't mistake this for something calculated, something she's doing with a checklist in hand. Often, she doesn't even know she's doing it, but deep down, her instincts are working. She's evaluating, can this man handle it when I pull away? Will he crumble, or will he stay grounded? Her desire isn't to break you, but to see if you can't be broken. This is how many women differentiate between the men they like and the men they'll allow themselves to trust emotionally. The woman who feels deeply but isn't yet ready to fully trust will create emotional friction intentionally. She wants to see how you react when the energy shifts, not when things are easy, but when they're difficult. This is where your strength is revealed, where your Stoic principles come into play. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." It's not about aggression or dominance. It's about emotional control. A woman will test your calm under pressure when she gives you mood swings, silence, or pulls away emotionally. Your response will either reflect strength or insecurity, and believe me, she feels it instantly. Most men fail this test without even realizing it. They become needy, chasing after her, explaining themselves, or trying to fix something that doesn't need fixing. In doing so, they show her that they lack emotional control, that they are fragile. And when that happens, the connection starts to falter. But when you stay grounded, when you don't beg, argue, or try to manipulate her behavior, you send a powerful message. You show that you don't need her actions to validate your worth. You exhibit the Stoic principle of mastering yourself. As Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That's the power she's looking for. That's the man she wants to trust. This test is unavoidable. It's part of the dynamic. Any high-value woman who feels deeply for a man will test him in this way at some point. It's not about breaking him. It's about seeing if he can handle her worst without losing his best. When you demonstrate that you can stay calm, composed, and unshaken in the face of emotional chaos, you prove your worth. You prove that you're not fragile. You show that you are emotionally mature and in control. This is where your value is truly revealed. It's through these tests that trust is built. And once she sees that you can handle her unpredictability without falling apart, that's when she begins to trust you in a way most men will never experience. Stay calm, stay strong, don't fold. Keep your Stoic principles close, for they are your key to mastering this moment and winning her trust. 4. Her past. Trauma is in charge. When a woman pushes you away, especially when it seems like she wants you most, it's important to understand that you're not just facing her current emotions, you're also dealing with the remnants of her past. Trauma is often in control of her reactions, even if you don't see it. Too many men don't realize that her coldness, her distance, and her sudden withdrawal may have very little to do with you. Instead, they're often linked to the emotional scars she carries from her past. Betrayal, lies, cheating, and being used don't just vanish. They become the lens through which she sees the world, shaping her trust, her expectations, and her fears. Even if she feels drawn to you, even if she genuinely wants something real with you, her past traumas can hijack the connection before it even has the chance to grow. She may find herself feeling torn, pulled between wanting to be close and needing to protect herself. On the one hand, she's drawn to you, but on the other, she's on high alert. The moment things start to feel too good, too familiar, she can't help but think, I've been here before, and I got hurt. Her trauma becomes the voice in her head telling her to shut the door before it gets slammed in her face again, telling her to pull away before she gets left behind. It's not personal, but it feels like it. And for most men, that's where things start to fall apart. You might start thinking she's playing games, that she's flaky or uninterested. But in reality, she's scared. That fear, however, is rooted in her past pain that has nothing to do with you. At this point, most men make the mistake of trying to fix her, of trying to talk her out of it. But here's the hard truth: you can't fix her wounds. You're not her therapist. Your job, as a modern Stoic, is to stay grounded. Don't let her emotional fluctuations shake you. Be consistent, firm in who you are, and let your calm become the steady presence she needs to see. Your stability becomes the only way she can gauge reality and distinguish it from the chaos of her past. Don't try to convince her with words. Show her through your actions, through your consistency. The blessing of Stoicism lies in the ability to be steadfast, to remain unmoved by the turbulence around you. This calm will help her see that not all men will hurt her, that she can trust someone without being betrayed. But this is something she must learn on her own. It's not something you can teach her by force, and it's not something that will happen overnight. When you realize that you're not just dealing with the woman in front of you, but also the history that's shaped her, your approach changes. You stop taking her behavior personally. You stop trying to fix her and start leading with emotional stability. You become the steady force in her life, and that steadiness is what will help heal her trauma over time. That's where you step into the role of the old Stoic, not someone who reacts with emotion, but someone who leads with strength and peace. Remember, trauma doesn't heal under pressure. It heals when it stops meeting chaos and starts meeting peace. Your consistency and emotional calm are the keys to helping her navigate her past while building a future with you. Keep in mind, you're not her savior, but you can be the stability she needs. If this resonates with you, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit from understanding the deeper layers of love. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, trauma isn't healed by pressure, it's healed by peace. 5. Closeness feels like danger. Closeness often feels like progress to men. The emotional connection deepens. You feel it. She feels it. It's all moving forward. But for some women, this same closeness triggers fear. The closer she gets to you, the more vulnerable she becomes. She's no longer in control of the narrative. You begin to see the real her, the raw, unguarded part she's kept hidden, the insecurities, the fears that she's never shared. For women who have experienced pain, betrayal, or rejection in past relationships, being truly seen can feel like a threat. This isn't about you. It's about the emotional vulnerability that closeness brings. It's a paradox. The very intimacy she craves is the thing that frightens her most. Let's be clear. At her core, she does want connection. She does want to feel safe. But when safety starts to form, her defenses immediately rise. As you become consistent, as you share deeper conversations, as the bond strengthens, her internal alarm goes off. She starts pulling away. You get fewer texts, less interest, a shift in mood. Suddenly, she needs space. You're probably wondering, what's going on? Things were going so well, but this is the moment where she feels emotionally exposed. She fears being abandoned, judged, or rejected. The closer you get, the more power you have over her emotions, and that scares her. This is where you need to step up. The Stoic principle of self-control comes into play. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is your moment. The worst thing you can do is react emotionally, chasing her or demanding answers. This only heightens her anxiety. No, you must remain calm, hold your ground, be the rock in the storm. You don't get rattled, you don't chase her. You understand her fear and give her space to process it without making it about you. This is where your strength lies. By staying grounded and not folding under pressure, you show her something that every woman craves: a man who can handle his own emotions, a man who doesn't need her approval to be whole. This isn't about being cold or detached. It's about being steady, firm, and resolute. You recognize that her reaction isn't rejection, it's resistance. Resistance to being fully seen, resistance to being vulnerable, resistance to surrendering emotionally. She wants to trust you, but she's still afraid. And that's okay. Let her feel the distance. Don't chase, don't beg for clarity. Instead, keep your presence strong and unwavering. This will shift the energy. You'll show her that you can be a source of stability in a world that's often chaotic and uncertain. She will come back, not out of guilt, but because she trusts that you can handle her emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This is where the Stoic principle of resilience becomes your greatest asset. The world may be filled with emotional turbulence, but you stand firm. You are not swayed by her mood swings or her need for space. You do not chase after her approval, nor do you let her fear dictate your actions. The power of the Stoic mindset is in realizing that what you control is yourself, your thoughts, your responses, and your emotions. You are the master of your emotional domain. And in this space, you will find that the relationship has a solid foundation, rooted in trust and mutual respect. Remember, in any situation, the obstacle is the way. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "In this moment of resistance, you have the chance to rise, and in doing so, you will see the relationship grow stronger. Not because you forced it, but because you knew when to step back, give space, and maintain your composure. You must understand life, love, and relationships are not about chasing validation or playing games. It's about having the emotional fortitude to handle your emotions, to face fear head-on, and to allow things to unfold naturally. When you stop needing her to act a certain way to feel secure, that's when the magic happens. She will sense your strength, your steadiness, your emotional sovereignty, and that is when you'll see her return, not because you demanded it, but because you proved that you could handle the emotional complexity of being truly close without losing yourself in the process. 6. She wants reassurance without asking. Here's the deal: she wants reassurance without ever spelling it out. And no, that's not a riddle. It's a very human fear dressed in silence. A woman pushing you away when she wants you most isn't trying to be difficult or play games. She's protecting something fragile. She's testing gravity. Will you still be there when she stops smiling? Will you stand steady when she stops making it easy? This isn't manipulation. This is survival. She wants to know that your presence doesn't depend on her performance. That's where the modern Stoic shines. Not the loud lover, not the overthinker, but the man who stands still when things get blurry. That's the blessing of Stoicism. You see, she's been taught not to need anyone. Strength, independence, self, love, they're her armor. But underneath, there's still that tender human need to feel seen, chosen, secure. And yet, she won't ask for it, because asking would mean handing you power. It would mean saying, "You matter enough to scare me?" And that is a terrifying truth for her. So what does she do instead? She creates friction, a little distance, a small storm, and she watches. Will you chase, will you crumble? Or will you stay the course, calm and grounded, unmoved by her waves? Because that's what the old Stoic would do. He wouldn't collapse under the weight of her silence. He wouldn't need her to explain her mood. He'd sense the storm and still keep the fire going. He'd be warmth, not wildfire. You must understand when she's cold. It's not rejection. It's a request, cloaked in fear, for your steadiness. When she's aloof, she's not lost interest. She's hoping you're strong enough not to need constant confirmation to care. And when she pulls back, that's your cue to lean in, not with words, but with presence. Be the man who isn't thrown by her doubt. Don't plead, don't panic, don't perform. Just stay solid. Let her see that your care isn't conditional. That you don't unravel just because she's having a hard moment. And here's where most men fall off the cliff. They get loud, they argue, they try to solve, fix, chase, but in doing so, they confirm her worst fear, that emotional closeness leads to chaos, that being vulnerable leads to instability. So be different. Be the modern Stoic who offers reassurance through action, not need, through consistency, not control, through your calm, not your crisis. When she feels that, when she realizes you're not going to run just because she got quiet, she will soften. Quietly, slowly, but deeply. That's when trust is born, not from grand speeches, but from stillness, not from declarations, but from presence. Be her anchor, not her storm. Because in a world where everyone demands to be understood, the real power is in being the one who understands, even when nothing is said. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I stay grounded and consistent in my relationships. Engage with the channel by sharing your thoughts and experiences below. Let's dive into what emotional reassurance really means. 7. Your reaction decides everything. When a woman pushes you away, it often has little to do with you personally. The truth is, she's testing you, not consciously, but in a way that reveals a lot about your strength and emotional stability. You can't control how she feels or why she pulls away, but you can control how you respond to it. That's the key to everything. Your reaction decides the outcome, and too many men fail at this crucial moment. When she starts acting distant, stops texting as often, or seems cold, the knee-jerk response is to panic. Don't fall into that trap. It's tempting to blow up her phone, demand answers, or over-explain your feelings, but that's exactly where you lose the game. The moment you show that her behavior is controlling your emotions, you break the dynamic. She senses it instantly, the shift from a grounded, centered man to an insecure, emotional wreck. And when that happens, trust evaporates. Men need to wake up to this fact. Too many of you are conditioned to be emotional responders, thinking that love means reacting to every little shift in her mood. You've been taught that if you care, you need to overcompensate whenever she seems upset. But real strength isn't in reacting. It's in restraint. This is the blessing of Stoicism. You don't need to meet her emotional shifts with your own. Instead, you must lead with stability. If she pulls away, remain still. If she's cold, stay warm but maintain your distance. When she tests your emotions, don't flinch. It's not about becoming a robot or stone. It's about mastering yourself. This is the essence of being a modern Stoic. It's not about controlling her. It's about controlling your own reactions. That's the real power in a relationship. The old Stoic taught that true strength lies in one's ability to control oneself. And that applies here. When you don't let her emotional fluctuations dictate your behavior, you maintain the leadership that draws her to you in the first place. The moment she senses that her behavior has the power to unbalance you, that's when things start to fall apart. This isn't about her losing interest. It's about you losing the man she fell for, the man who was confident, centered, and unshaken. When you stop being that man, she starts to lose faith. And no, it's not that she doesn't care. She does. But she needs to feel secure, to trust that you can handle whatever emotional turmoil comes your way. If every time she pulls away, you crumble, it sends the message that you're emotionally unstable. And a woman can never fully trust or respect a man she feels could be shaken by her mood swings. She's not consciously trying to push you away, but she needs to see if you can withstand her emotional tests. She needs to know that, even in her most chaotic moments, you will remain the calm and steady presence she can rely on. This, my friend, is the kind of man who earns her respect, and respect is the foundation of love. The key here is simple: how little her behavior affects you. Women, by nature, are emotional creatures. That's not a flaw, it's just who they are. The mistake many men make is thinking that they have to meet this emotional intensity with their own emotional reactions. You don't. You must meet it with calmness, with steady strength, with the kind of grounded awareness that shows you understand the subtle game being played. You're not there to fix her emotions, you're there to lead with your own. When you're able to stay centered in the face of her emotional turbulence, that's what earns her trust, and ultimately, her love. It's important to understand this. A woman's love doesn't always look like love. Sometimes it looks like silence, sometimes it looks like distance. Sometimes it looks like it's pushing you away. But underneath all of that, she's watching you. She's waiting to see how you respond. She's hoping that you'll show up like the man she can trust with her heart, even when it's not easy. And here's the part that many men are afraid to admit. If a woman can break you emotionally, she can never fully love you, not because she's cruel, but because she needs to know that, even when she falls apart, you won't be dragged down with her. She needs to see your strength in those moments of vulnerability. That's where respect is born, and without respect, no love can last. So don't crumble, don't flinch. Stay the modern Stoic, unshaken in the face of her emotional tests. That's the man she'll never forget. Hey, I really want to hear from you. If you've ever been in a situation where a woman pushed you away just when things were getting deep, share your experience in the comments. I read every single comment, and I make it a point to respond. And when I say that, I mean it. This channel is not just about advice. It's about building real strength in men who've been confused, frustrated, and, frankly, misled. You're not alone in this. And here's the thing. If you stick with me in this space, I'll show you exactly how to rise above the emotional games. You'll learn how to lead with power, clarity, and calm, no matter what the situation throws at you. So, drop your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.